What's up, everybody? Welcome to Six Man Blitz. Got a great show for you guys today. Hey, crypto, I got my tool in. Fourth quarter yelling, why the fuck Batum, man? Hey, Batum, he's going to be the starter moving forward. He's taking Marcus Morris's spot with the Clippers. He had a fishing ass night last night, 24 points. And Ty Lue, he said in an interview, this is how we want to play. This is Clippers basketball. But that was just my intro remark. A lot of things covered today. Some NBA, some NFL. So let's start off with some NBA talk. Ben Simmons. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season due to back issues. They're shutting him down. Has this been the biggest downfall we've seen so far? This is like a huge downfall because he was an all-star coming into the Sixers that last year, not shooting the layup for the playoffs, and now with the Nets, he's been a disaster.
Man, it's definitely up there. I mean, and the crazy thing is, usually busts you don't see them get those all NBA accolades. They just don't pan out from the beginning. Whereas him, you've seen him ascending, and he had the talent, and the performance backed it up, but he just continued to add to his game like everybody else.
And Never shot a three.
Came to be the criticism, it's like he just folded, and that just goes to show like all the character flaws that he kind of ignored throughout his career because he could. Those come to bite you in the ass, and now it's looking like his fight or flight instincts are flight
all the way.
I'm calling it a season. So I mean, you see.
But the Brooklyn Nets are definitely going to move on from him in the offseason. There were already some talks about him getting traded at the deadline, so he's going to get a fresh start next year. So I don't know how many teams would want Ben Simmons. Maybe but then again, there's always a team that wants players like him. That guy can bounce back, but I don't see it getting better for him wherever he goes next. Hopefully I'm wrong because I was a big Ben Simmons fan. I was one of those people calling him the next LeBron James, calling him the Prince to the King. But yeah, who knows with his career. Big Perk, as they call him, Kendrick Perkins, he came out and said on ESPN that he would trade Zion if he was the Pelicans. What do you think about that? Would you do that? I mean, Zion has missed damn near every game, always hurt. Every time come playoff time, he ain't available. But, they saying, in 2 weeks he should be back. But, what do you do? Every year you can't count on him. What would you do with Zion?
Man, I feel like you're kind of at the mercy of him at this point because you signed that deal.
Gave him a fat deal.
And I think that was when you made the decision to commit long term. So you got to see that through. I think before you make the trade decision. But at the same time, if he only gets more hurt, his value.
What's his value like? Who's trading? Who's giving up hella talent for him?
I think he's talented as fuck. That beyond question.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the issue with him. The issue is the durability. And, if he's ever going to come to a realization that he's going to have to do some push-aways from that motherfucking table. He's going to be getting visited.
The gumbo. Shit, if I was in New Orleans too, I'd be getting down. I don't blame Zion. New Orleans, Bourbon Street. I don't know why I say Bourbon Street. But nah, I would be getting down like Zion too. There was a spot right on Bourbon Street, right? There was a little spot by all that festivities, little chicken shack. They had honey infused biscuits. Shit, I would have lived at that spot. I would have had me a nice little profit.
Infused it with honey.
I don't know. But the shit was good as hell, bro. I ain't asked some other questions.
Honey in the batter?
I think so. Chicken was good as hell, too. And there was a decent little pizza spot right next door too, but a little off topic. But yeah, Zion, I mean, shit, like he's still really talented and shit. If they would you let him play in the playoffs? Like how it's looking right now, they're in the play-in. So by the time the play-in comes in, he should be able to play. But do you risk that and do you let him play in the play-in for one game because they might get bounced?
I mean, if playing one game is a risk, what the hell are we doing? You know what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying?
because that's
Like,
what
come
happened
on,
last
if
year,
he's
bro.
healthy, put him out
They
there.
they didn't want him to play in the play-in. They shut him down. No, it was the Grizzlies series too. What was it? Was it the Grizzlies? No. I don't think they got in. But yeah, same thing happened last year with them getting to that point. Shut him down. And Zion though, when he's on the court though, it's so special. He's like one of the most efficient players in the league. He gives you buckets 25, 26 a night at least. The Pelicans team were the
Man,
first. They were first seed in the West when he was healthy. So it's just obviously the impact he has on this team, but they're still a pretty good team without him. I mean, they were on a little cold spell, but they won the last 4 games, I think. So they're finally hitting their stride. So yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks will give a bag for him. They'll probably give up Julius Randle. They'll probably give Julius Randle back, um, just to have that kind of star in New York. Because Bronson's only good enough. I still don't think he's. I don't know. I love Bronson. He's hooping at another level, but Zion would be next level and be ticket selling.
no question. Yeah, I still think there's still a level that Brunson's never going to be able to attain, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still an all-star in this league for sure.
Oh yeah, no question. He's been playing at a high level this year, and he's the main reason why this Knicks team is at the seed they're at. I think they're the 5th seed right now. But another superstar though that could be on the move, Damian Lillard. Now they shutting him down for the rest of the season, and Shams reported that Damian Lillard, and the Portland Trailblazers front office are going to have some conversations about moving forward. So you think this is a time Damian Lillard puts his pride aside and, I got to win. Fuck it. What am I doing in Portland? And what teams do you think you would want him to play on?
Man, I think anywhere in LA he could add an instant impact. So if Kyrie goes to the Lakers, maybe he goes to the Clippers.
That'd be
I'd
nuts.
love to see that. Um, or you could see him.
What about him in Miami with Jimmy Buckets, Bam? They need a point guard because Kyle Lowry,
Man,
thick
Miami
ass
would be
man.
a great spot.
He ain't cutting it
Man,
no
no,
more.
he that wagon dragging a little too much. Man. God
It's tough. He probably
damn. Good game,
distracting the
boy.
teammates with that. Oh, I just played.
Gotta get that nigga that good game, boy.
Sick individual. But no,
So I
Dame,
would definitely love to
his
see him in
impact, yeah.
Chicago, though.
Ooh,
Let's not get it twisted.
him for Lonzo straight up. I know we're not saying no. They might say no, but we're not saying no to
up,
that.
nigga. That boy got nerve damage. He can't even sleep at night. He probably got insomnia.
Bro,
I know I can't sleep. My knee hurt right now. Goddamn.
You see, they were saying in the reports, they're like, he's going to trying to be the first player to recover from this injury and this many surgeries or something. Whenever you hear that, his career is probably over. Let's be real. His career is probably done. First player to ever come back from this? Are we being real?
I mean, if he got his father on his medical team, he might be able to make it happen.
You trust Lamar Ball, okay? Can't. Yeah, he might end up in Charlotte too. It's coming soon. We got to get him off the books at least.
LeVar said that LeBron's son should follow LaMelo's path and go play in Australia for a year.
Bro, hey, right now though he makes the most money in NIL deals. Like he's 7.2
Oh,
million, I
no
think.
question.
Yeah, he's making the most
Well,
money in
his
NIL.
dad could his dad. I mean, how many commercials could his dad alone get him in? I mean, I think I seen them in one together, right? Recently,
Yeah,
do they have one?
I think so too. But no, yeah, he's
So
gonna be
come on
set
now.
either way. He don't need to go
That's
overseas.
yeah, it's a wrap.
Just go to college for one
No,
year.
he don't.
He don't even need to go to college. Sit at the crib for a little, because whatever team drafts him,
G
LeBron
League,
is going. LeBron is going to that team. So either way, he's set. He's gonna be
right?
a lottery pick. But
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
yeah, me too. Uh, you see what Joel Embiid said recently? Let me pull up the quote. So I seen it on
Let me
ESPN.
see.
I was watching it today. Uh, he's like people who have been talking that like about who has the most pressure to be. They always mention him, and he's saying, I shouldn't be on that list. I shouldn't be first on that list. There's guys out here with multiple MVPs that have done nothing. Hey, is that a shot at the Joker? There's a shot at a couple people. So he's saying there's a lot of people in this league that have still not won a title either. I mean, shit, is that a shot at his buddy James Harden too? Might be. So,
I mean, if the shoe fits. I mean, Joker, obviously.
mhm.
Um, even look at Luca. I mean, they went to the conference finals last year, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, Luca needs to get some scrutiny right now
But
because they're in
like,
the play-in. Not even in the play-in. All that talk about the Lakers not making the playoffs and shit. The Mavs right now are the 11th seed, so they need more scrutiny.
so I mean, you look at the guys, Embiid outside of Giannis. Those two are guys that don't have weaknesses in their games, whereas like Luca and Jokic, they just defense is optional for them.
Yeah, they don't play defense.
So
Luca especially. Hey, and one of Luca's
and they
weaknesses.
get exposed in the playoffs.
Yeah, Luca, he'll pick up hella technicals. He'll argue with the ref. He picked up 16
He'll be arguing
technicals
with
this
the
year.
ref.
That's what I'm saying. He almost got suspended on Monday, but the league recited it, so got lucky. But it's just those European dudes or overseas dudes. Too broad of a
Oh.
statement. Yeah. Let me pull that back. But Embiid, no, I don't think he has a lot. Like, I don't think if he doesn't succeed in the playoffs this year, I don't think that's too much. He still has a lot to go in his career. Obviously, you look more towards that Doc Rivers choking. You look at Harden. You look at those pieces a little more than you look at Embiid. But looking at this year's playoffs, who do you think has the most to prove? Let me get some guys that you got in mind.
Man, I think for sure the Denver has the most to prove in the West. They've been the
They're
clear
finally
cut
healthy.
favorite,
Yeah.
finally healthy. There's literally no excuses. Um, if they're just going to be front, this is going to be the postseason for them to make us believe are they actual contenders or are they just front runners in the regular season? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they're another
So
Utah and
I'm
shit.
interested to see how they fare
Mhm.
when it's come down to it. So they're gonna have to play somebody scrappy in that first round,
That's
which
what
is
I'm
crazy
saying.
to
The A
think.
seed, it could be
They
the
could end up
Lakers.
getting the Lakers. It could be the Warriors.
Could be one of those teams,
It
yeah.
so that's gonna be tricky. And then in the East, I honestly it's the Sixers. Like this has
Okay.
been a year of all time best for Harden as well as Embiid. Um, it seems like Maxi is fantastic piece.
Hmm.
They are built. They added the great additions in the offseason, and everybody gels together well. And they got two monsters in front of them, and I want to see them. I don't want to see them win, but we can't see the typical Doc Rivers we've seen, where they're
He
blowing
gets out
leads
coached,
and just not
blowing leads.
struggling to make adjustments. And I don't want to see that happen, and I don't want to see Embiid and Harden choke because they all both have
Had
a
their fair
history of
share. Yeah.
struggling when it come down to it. And a lot of Embiid struggles just because he's a big man and he has to get the ball, as opposed to creating his own offense. So, but those are my two, honestly. What about you?
I mean, looking at Sixers too, they'll have an opportunity in that second round too. Like right now, I think they'll play. I think it's looking like they'll play Brooklyn right now as the standings are right now. They might have to play Miami in the first round though, because I think Miami will steal that 6th seed. And then second round too, they'll have to play Milwaukee. So we'll know right away, the first and the second round, how different this Philly team is. But I think a lot of people have been mentioning Jason Tatum. What do you think about that one? Because that's a name I think he has a lot to prove.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, you look at the last finals last year. He was great in the playoffs. He's always been great in the playoffs, but in the finals, he really came up short. So he has a lot to bounce back from. And I think Jason Tatum is one. Shit. I think Paul George and Kawhi got a lot to prove in this playoffs. I think this,
I think this is a make or break season for them too.
I think
you have to
Paul George when he comes back, they have the pieces to win. Paul George will be banged up for a little. I think they'll have him back in the first round, but Kawhi and this Clippers team, they're still really damn good. But the thing to monitor too, they might have to see Kevin Durant in the first round. So that might be a tough series, especially without Paul George. So it's going to get dicey. This playoffs is going to be really good.
No question. And the Clippers were on my list too, for sure. But the Nuggets, don't get it twisted. Y'all the number one seed. So,
what do you think about the Grizzlies though? I mean, because can they still talk shit and do all the stuff they do if they lose again in the playoffs with the second seed? I think this is like they got to prove themselves in this playoffs. They got to do something.
They just play hard every night. They're just a bunch of young, scrappy, hard playing guys that play every night.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that shit is cool. But when it's a 7-game series, hey, it's the first of 4, baby.
Yeah, and
it's a whole different ball game, and a lot of it is more talent takes over, strategy takes over.
And the Timberwolves almost caught them lacking last playoffs too. That shit that wasn't like 7 games, no?
What?
I was almost
yeah, it did. It
was tough. But
and the Warriors got them out of there easy.
True. But let's switch over to the NFL. Some big news happened today. Dan Snyder, you know how the Commanders, he's trying to sell that team for $6 million. That's like or $6 billion. Sorry,
Right.
That's a big difference. But $6 billion, yeah, they're trying to sell it. And Magic Johnson and 2 other guys that are trying to buy the team, they're gonna reach that limit. They're gonna reach that price, $6 billion. So with all the stuff that follows this Commanders team, this Washington football team that's been happening over the past couple of years, for a while, you think having a new owner and Dan Snyder being gone will allow this team to have more success? You think how much would that affect them with Dan Snyder being gone?
I think anytime you can cut off the head, the body's gonna die. So, I think it's gonna be a help. Now I see Magic Johnson and his group have submitted an offer.
Yeah,
and met their
hopefully Magic Johnson and them can get it.
Requirements.
Yeah,
and shit, that alone, you seen what he's been able to do in the Dodgers, and I think he has a soccer team too, right? That they just won something.
I think so.
So, and then obviously the Lakers. So you got a history of success at every level. So you can add that.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd be surprised what you can do when the right people are at the top.
Start making some moves.
That wasn't the case for them because it was some foolishness going on internally.
A lot of foolishness. Um, but Commanders could be a possible location for Lamar Jackson. A lot of stuff. We know he's probably not going to play with the Ravens no more. That shit's probably dead. He requested a trade March 2nd. All the rumors that are coming out, all these news is coming out. But one thing that was funny though, I don't know if you saw it, but the Falcons owner Arthur Blank, he came out and said Lamar Jackson, he misses games, and games, affect a lot of the season. Like, hold on, let me get the actual quote. Let's see where it's at.
Don't throw nothing on his name that wasn't supposed to be down there.
Where was it? Oh yeah. Yeah, Falcons owner Arthur Blank came out and said, they're not going to be a part of the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes, because he says each game counts in this business, and he misses too many games. Lamar Jackson in the past 2 seasons, if you count it up, he really didn't miss a lot of games. It was just when he missed those games. But and it's funny, Arthur Blank said this. You know why? Because Deshaun Watson, he tore his ACL twice. And he missed hella games. He stopped playing for the Texans that 1 year. He sat out. So, but Arthur Blank was all in on that. He was really, he had the checkbook open. He was ready to get Deshaun Watson at all costs. So, does he look? So how does that go together, Arthur Blank?
Man, so I think the thing to consider between the two is Deshaun doesn't use his legs as much as Lamar, and we've seen Deshaun be a top 5 passer in this league and look like one of the best players in the league.
Michael Jordan of football, as
you've seen Lamar be just just as great. Don't get me wrong, but
MVP.
You're not going to get a guaranteed contract back-to-back years injured. Mm-hmm. When you primarily run the ball. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. So I think they just it's terrible to see, and I don't really understand what the outcome could be at this point. And what the end goal is for him. Like, okay, if this shit doesn't work, if a team doesn't go above and beyond or meet my demands, then what?
He's got to play. You got to play for the Ravens on that tag. He lost the leverage,
Play on the tag.
Yeah.
And then what if you get hurt again?
Then you're fucked.
The asking price every year is going to get cut because they're saying they offered him 250 but 175 guaranteed.
Shit. It sounds like a lot to us, though. Looking at that money, that sounds like a lot.
No question. So,
yeah, it's a really tough
situation. The fully guaranteed, I don't know. Yeah, I'm having a hard time looking at it from his perspective.
But the thing is, too, though, Justin Herbert, what type of contract is he going to get? Because him and the Chargers, they're talking about getting the deal done soon, coming up in the next coming weeks, next coming month. So what is Herbert still going to look like? Is he going to be able to get $250 million guaranteed?
I think, yeah, I think you have a case for him because he passes the ball. I don't know is Lamar special if he's just a thrower of the football? I mean,
it's hard to tell because of what we've seen him do, who's been around him. There's a lot of factors in that, I think. So it's really hard to tell. But
once you can't be paying $250 million on hard to tell, nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't hard to tell with Joe Burrow. Give him that $250. It ain't hard to tell with Justin Herbert.
I mean, I'm giving Lamar whatever he's asking for because he wins games. The winning percentage. What we saw what the Ravens were before he was there with Flacco and all that stuff. So they need to pay his ass. They lucky Lamar didn't win a Super Bowl because then they really would have had to give him $250 million guaranteed. They really would have had to cough up that money. And just like
Yeah, but he didn't. He got hurt back to back years, and
yeah,
this last year we didn't know if he was ever gonna be back in the lineup every week. He was questionable. So, man, it's got to be a give and take. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he's playing the dance as well as he could be.
yeah. I think you need to go ahead and just get that agent, man. It's not too late.
I don't think that's the problem. Not having an agent. I just think the strategy is wrong.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, let me throw a
Uh,
scenario out there for you.
okay.
The Colts signed Lamar Jackson. I posted a video about this. The Colts signed Lamar Jackson. And then
Mm-hmm.
the Colts have to give up a first round pick or whatever the deal is. Colts give up their first round pick. Who are the Baltimore Ravens getting with that pick? Anthony Richardson. Now tell me that isn't a fair deal for both teams. Baltimore gets Anthony Richardson, Todd Monken, who we're both high on. You know, I've seen people come out and say, "Oh, Stetson Bennett to the Ravens." Fuck that bullshit. nah, nah. I mean, actually, it's not a terrible idea. He could be the next Brock Purdy, whatever. Because Stetson Bennett, you know, you obviously got to give him some credit. He's very old soul, old too in age, but no, I think Anthony Richardson, you plug him in with the Ravens, that's a great fit because the Ravens is a great organization. I'm surprised they're fucking things up Lamar and Lamar's fucking things up. It's a bad thing. But I'm surprised this whole situation is happening because the Baltimore Ravens are usually a great run organization. They're always competing. They're always in the playoffs. So you add a guy like Anthony Richardson there with high potential. He could be Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, all that. I think they don't miss a beat with that defense. I think both teams are get a lot out of that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. But it's a big ass a what if, boy. Goddamn. Over there directing the movie, ball.
Hey, what else am I doing on my free time? You know, when I'm not in class, you know, just putting pieces together for other organizations. You know, what's the dude? Jim Irsay, holla at your boy. I give you a great breakdown. Give Lamar $250 million guaranteed. Solve this issue. I mean, we've seen him.
Ran out.
We've seen him do stupider things. We've seen him try and get Matt Ryan. We've seen him get Carson Wentz. We've seen him do stupider things. Why not just say fuck it and get? Why not do the right move and get Lamar Jackson? Obviously, you don't want to give him $250 million guaranteed. I mean, give him something else because right now it looks like he ain't getting shit from Baltimore. Well, the negotiations are nowhere with the Baltimore, you know.
Oh, that's a fact. But is there an incentive to wait till after the draft and see, hey, if I can get a guy, then
I
cool.
think
If I can't, then let's
yeah.
look at Plan B.
Yeah, and two with the Jets too. Their only plan is Aaron Rodgers. They're like, no, we need to get Aaron Rodgers. And I think OBJ just met with the Jets, but that's another thing. So yeah, definitely some teams he could be a plan B. A lot of teams that aren't able to get their guy in the draft. Another guy, last episode I was talking about Hendon Hooker. I was like, yeah, he's that guy. Watch out for him. Mike Tannenbaum, I think is his name. I might have butchered that. He's got a weird last name, Tannenbaum or whatever. But he said on ESPN, top 5, mock draft, all that stuff, Hendon Hooker going to Seattle. You think that's a little reach? What do you think?
No, I don't think it's a little reach, but I think they should take a quarterback,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a guy that's not one of those plug-in guys like the CJ Strouds and the number one overall picks, but maybe a Will Levis. You know what I'm saying? Or
Nah,
maybe
we don't fuck with Will Levis on this
a
pod, bro.
Hendon Hooker.
I'm just playing.
But you got to think about where they're at in the draft too.
They
You
got the
know,
5th pick.
you would right. They got so you would assume the top two are gone, right?
C.J. Stroud, Anthony
So who's
Richardson
left?
might be available. Hendon Hooker, though, I
And
definitely think
how
he'd
many?
be a good quarterback to pick up.
I agree, but like, I don't know if I see star in them though.
You don't? Must have not watched a lot of Tennessee games. That boy is lighting that shit up.
But they also played a very unique offense. Like it was
Yeah.
like so it's not very like NFL comparable at all.
No. But he had 7 touchdowns in the
He's
first
gonna be
half.
asked to do a lot.
Yeah.
Them guys were wide the fuck open, bro. They was lining up on each sideline and 5 wide every play. One of the fastest tempos like ever recorded and shit.
Yeah, but
NFL gonna be totally different.
yeah, really different. He's gonna have to adjust. But I like his moxie. I think he's got all the intangibles to be a good quarterback. Wouldn't be mad if
I agree.
Seattle picking him up, or anybody else picking him up for that matter.
No, I agree with that because so that's what I'm saying. You got your guy in Gino, so let's go find a guy. We got 3 years to go find a guy. That's how I would look at it.
And they're probably not going to
Follow
be
them.
in the run for Caleb Williams with the first round pick because you want to be good with the players you got.
Right.
If you're Seattle, you don't want to have the first pick next year. That means
Exactly.
a lot of shit went wrong. But
Right.
let's talk about the Bears now. Jeffrey Simmons, all right?
Yes.
I did a video about this. You know, the defensive tackle for the Titans. I think he's the second best defensive tackle in the league, other than, Aaron Donald. He's that good. But he unfollowed everybody on the Titans. He took all the posts of him in a Titans uniform off social media. Pay attention to that kind of stuff. It leads to stuff. But their new GM's trying to revamp this roster so he could be the next tight end out the door. If you're the Bears, do you go after this guy? Do you try to get this guy?
So, how old is he?
25.
Damn, he's only 25. Why do I feel like he's been in the league for a minute?
He's only been in the league for 4 to 5 years, bro. It's crazy. I thought he was about to be 30. I thought he was like 29 at least.
Right. So he's been in the league since he was 20. Then if he's been for
if I'm doing the math right.
Right.
No, yeah.
So hell yeah, that's right up let's get him on
and we're in position where we have enough cap space to pay him too. Not only it would be a $10 million cap hit. We can give him a new contract, and he's 25. So this is a move similar to picking up Daron Payne, but better. I think he's better than Daron Payne, personally.
Yeah, I agree. And he's it goes to show.
Yeah, he's nuts.
So damn, he's been he's on his 4th year.
It's nuts. And add a guy like this to our defense with the linebackers we got, shit. Defense might be doing some nasty.
So he's on contract still though?
Yeah, he's on contract still.
So it'd have to be a trade.
Yeah, he's not a free agent. I think he's about to reach he's about to get an extension this year or next year. He's his contract's he's probably gonna be a free agent next year. But he wants to be paid top dollar though because he's one of the best in the league. So.
Yeah, let's go get that boy. See what it takes. Nah, let's not overextend either though.
What would you be willing to give up for him though?
Man, that's tough.
Really tough.
Maybe you trade back and you get a late second. You give up 2 seconds.
I think we have like 2 or 3 seconds. We have one in 2025 too that we got in a deal with the Panthers. So yeah, I
I
mean,
would love to take 2 seconds, but I think he's worth a first though for sure.
yeah, he's definitely worth the first.
So um, he might be worth like a first and a third, or a late first and a third.
Or we could. I've been
So
seeing people do a pick swap. So they have the 11th pick, give them our ninth. We take their 11th, give them a second, and some other stuff. So definitely, I don't like honestly. Whatever we got to do to get his ass, I'm down for. If it's not giving up the ninth pick, I think that's too much. Anything else after that, I think is solid.
right. So yeah, it's tough to see. Tennessee's in a unique space. I mean, it looks like they're gonna start looking at blowing this thing up. So hopefully, he's part of that collateral damage.
Yeah, we're praying on their downfall. Hopefully, give them to us for some chump change. Give us a nice deal. But what do you think about the whole Trey Lance situation? They're talking about Brock Purdy is going to be the starter. They're talking about Trey Lance and Sam Darnold are going to share reps, first team reps. So basically, it's going to be Brock Purdy's job when he gets there and he's healthy.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, he showed the best out of the people that are there. So I mean, why not? Yeah, you usually say if you're injured, that doesn't lose your job.
Yeah.
And luckily, he got hurt on the last game of the season. So we were able to see him at a high level, and we didn't see it fall.
Yeah. He
So
played at extremely high level.
I would have him as a starter until proven otherwise. Especially
Even
Trey Lance, you're giving him multiple shots, and he's only gotten hurt.
even if Trey Lance comes back and like let's say Trey Lance balls out in camp and plays week 1 because Brock Purdy's not ready yet, and he has a really fantastic game, what do you do then?
Oh, you keep him because you paid a lot of money, paid a king's ransom
Gave
for him.
up like 3 first-round picks for him, I think, to Miami for that. That turned into Bradley Chubb,
Exactly.
Tyreek Hill, all
So,
those guys.
hmm
Yeah. So I'm hoping for Trey Lance. Hopefully he can get his shit together, play good. Some dude on ESPN was like, if I'm Trey Lance, I'm not going to no parties. I'm not doing nothing all off season. I'm just strictly grinding. Which is true.
got to. This is a make or break year for
But did you see the shit that just came out now? The NFL approved players wearing number 0. And Calvin Ridley is going to be number 0 on the Jags. Shit look clean.
him. Damn, I might have to add him on fantasy, big baby.
And number 0. That's going to be nice.
So I said some burrito, baby.
You know what they need to approve next now? Allowing players to wear the number X. Getting like in longest yard, that one big ass dude.
Mean machine.
Mean machine.
Get your real stupid goofy.
Hey, but who would you want on the Bears to wear number 0? Who's a player you think would look cold in that number? Darnell Mooney's talking he wants to wear. I think Brisker would look nice in it, but Mooney too would probably look
I would
nice.
say Brisker. Give me Brisker, or Keneal Harry.
Oh yeah, he looked like a 0.
Nah, his ass need to be.
He's a free agent, so shit. From our
Yeah,
understanding,
boo-boo.
yeah. I like N'Keal Harry though. I was rooting for him. I feel like we should have given him more of a shot. But hopefully they can resign him to a cheap deal, add some receiver depth, be on the practice squad or something maybe.
Nah, we good on him.
But that's all we got for the show today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. NBA, NFL talk, all of it. We're going to keep bringing it to you. Don't worry. You'll stay updated. Anytime anything happens, we're dropping a short. We're dropping a video. We got you. Stay up to date with our content. 6-Man Blitz Twitter, 6-Man Blitz Instagram, MH97FF, TikTok. Stay updated, people. And we're about to hit 300 subscribers on YouTube too. I think we're like 281. Shit's been jumping slowly but surely. road to 1K.
Talk to me nice.
Yeah. Eventually, but yeah, like I mentioned, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Keep staying updated with our content. And as always, peace.